Welcome to Bigelow Woodcraft. I'm Jerry, and today and over the next couple of days, I'm going to transform my sawmill yard. As you can see, I have a lot of junk and a bunch of mess over here. I have these big sawhorses over here. I have some slabs. I have some 4x4s. I have some 4x6s for stacking lumber. You know, we have the sawmill here. I have these uprights. These are going to stay here because one day maybe we'll finish this. I have all this odds and ends from leftover jobs. I have this oak I need to actually do something with. I do have this earmarked for a project. I have a bunch of lumber over here. That's my son-in-law's. I have some scrap over here. Over the course of the next few days, I'm going to transform this, and let's talk about a few things that I'd like to do. Number one thing I'd like to do, the very first thing is we need to remove these log bunks. This log deck works great, and I'm still going to continue to use it, but I'm not going to use it here. I'm going to move it to the other side, and I'm going to try that. The problem on the other side is I have some more, I don't have as much room on that side, and I have some trees and brush I have to remove. Not necessarily trees, but stumps. I don't have enough room to stack my wood on that side, and not even stack it, but even stage it. So I would like to stage the wood on this side, the lumber, and stage the logs on that side on the log deck. And that also leaves me with the ability to roll up the real big logs still on this side. If I put those log bunks on this side, I'm going to struggle with sawdust removal on this side. And I know anything I do, I'm going to have pros and cons. And I think this won't be that bad. I can just pull the bucket in and shovel it in, or I can just physically pick up the sawhorses. It's back here. I have a pine tree. I have this little white pine. I have a collection of stumps and brush coming up. So we have a stump here. Well, there's 3 stumps and some brush. We have 2 stumps, and one of them is about that big. But these stumps are 20 years old. They're rotting. We have another stump, a couple of trees, and some more stumps, which wouldn't be a bad thing to get this brush out of here and get those stumps removed. And that would give me the ability to bring the logs around, have some room, and bring them up onto the log deck. So that leads me to today's project. What we're building today is we're going to build some roller tables. I'm going to build 2 of them. So I'm probably going to build these about the same height, maybe just a little bit higher than the sawmill. We're going to build them out of 4x4 maple because that's what we have. So after a lot of consideration and scientific research, I determined 28 inches. I'm going to make the table 8 foot. It'll hang over 1 foot, the conveyor on each end. I have the tractor parked right in front of the log deck just so you can see how much room I have here now. So let's, we're just gonna paste it off. I have a big tape measure out here, or a wheel. So let's, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 paces. So what's that? 45, 30, 26, 39 feet. It's about 40 feet of room here now. So you remember from the beginning of the video, there was lumber here, there was lumber here, and there was a bunch of stumps and brush and trees in there. So we've done all that. Let's see how wide it is. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14 paces. So 14, 50, 45 feet, 50 feet this way. I did have another pile of lumber right there, and I burned all that. The lumber I had over here, this is the scrap lumber after projects. You know, if you've been sawing lumber, you'll know what happens is you get your lumber done, you get some odd cuts and you just throw those off to the side. Those are the pieces I let anybody just come and pick through for free. So I have those over there. So let's take a look now what we've done here. So the obvious is we've moved our log deck, these giant sawhorses I built, from that side of the mill to this side of the mill. I can still drive between them, and I can still walk between them. The problem I'll have is cleaning out sawdust. But I can always pick those up with the forks and scoop it out like you saw me earlier in the video. So that's the number one thing I've done. Now, yes, the logs could roll off, but there's some things you can do to prevent that. Just pay attention, which sometimes I struggle doing. So the next thing I created out here was these work tables, these roller tables, and they will double as work tables too. I have 2 of them. I actually have enough for one more. So I have a 10-footer here. They're 30 inches wide, and a 10-footer here, 30 inches wide. This one is way heavier dutier than this one, but this guy that I bought these from was having a hard time selling these. I bought all these, 1, 2, 3, 5, 3 over there, these 2 here. Then I have enough for one more for like, I think it was just short of $200. This one, he was like I said, he was having trouble selling them, so he cut it up for scrap. So there's 3 pieces here. My plan and thought process for these roller tables. So let's start with this one. Now, this may all change. It may not flow the way I think it is. When I take my slabs off, I usually don't return the mill back before I take the slabs off. I run the mill that way. So I'm going to use one of these bridges for the log deck to the mill to demonstrate how I do it. So I pull it off, pull that off, drop it up there, and just roll them down. I have 2 4x4s here on the ground. I'd roll them down, and I'd pull it down and just drop it off. I envision the lumber going off that way because I usually lift up and come home for the lumber. So I have 2 thoughts here. I can slip this down into here between this and run it out, but then I'm going to have to walk all the way around. Or I could run it 90 degrees this way, or I could run it on the outside here, throw my lumber on it. So this is my thought here. So the mill comes up, travels back. I come out here, or a swamper grabs the lumber, sets it up here, and rolls it down. Set it right on the sawhorses. I can't speed the mill up any faster due to the fact that I'm only got a 14-horse motor, 13 and a half that Briggs, unless I put a bigger motor on it. And that may be in the works someday. So the only way I can get faster with my mill is the process, how I'm going about it, how I'm swamping, removing boards. right now, I'm sitting at, it's everything for me by myself to keep up with my mill. It's not fast. It's not an LT35 or LT40 or LT70 or any of those big fast mills with more horsepower. You almost need two people to run those. With this one, I can run by myself while it's returning or cutting. I can pull my boards off. I think this flow will work. If it doesn't, we'll just adjust it. But we've come a long ways. I got it cleaned up. I have some more slabs still on the other side of the burn slash pile over there. And I put a bunch of slabs up ready to get cut up on the bucking table. I'm going to try that. So behind me, I got the burn pile. And then I have more slabs over here. And then we have the bucking table where I bucked up firewood this weekend. I'm going to try the slabs on this as opposed to the roller conveyor wood processor. And this is, I will have had that mill 4 years in October. So I've had it 3.5 years. I'm really impressed with it still. All right, guys, that's the lumberyard sawmill update and workflow adjustments. I'm not sure how high these are. All right, the height of these appear to be 32 inches. 31.5 to 32 inches. Just depends what they're sitting on. Another thing this will allow me to do, if I have to par buckle any logs up that I can't lift, I can move these, roll them up here. If they're shorter, if they're within this, I could just par buckle them up. And I can also easily fork any logs like I've always done back in the past from this direction as well. All right, guys, we'll see you at the mill next time. All right, if you like this kind of content, hit that like button, leave a comment. I like talking to you guys. Don't forget to subscribe. If you want to get a notification, hit that bell icon so you know each time a video comes up. Try to upload a video a couple times a week. Subscribing, commenting, liking, it really helps the channel out. We've been growing. I just see we went over 3,000. One of you, Rodney, congratulated me. I didn't even realize it. Wasn't even paying attention to it. So we're over 3,000, so that's pretty neat. Thank you, all of you, for subscribing and helping out my channel. And we'll see you at the wood mill, sawmill, log yard next time. Take care, guys. We'll see ya.